the way of God. And then he promises us that he loves those who strive hard in his way with their wealth and their lives. He's cognizant of the tiniest donation. And he's cognizant of the one whose heart desires to give but just doesn't have anything, but just the desire makes God happy with that soul and will reward us just for the good intention. So I never want us to feel that it's only the big donor that gets respect and honor, though we appreciate the big donor. But we have become a people that look over little things and praise big men and big people, but the little brother and the little sister that are the faithful who maintain the house, they don't get the type of credit and honor that they are due. So I think
All right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I'm gonna tell you all something. When I'm on here, I realize that I can't be on my television. So I turned the television off before I went into the bathroom. When I heard that television on, I was like, now who did that? Who cut that on? I just turned it off, you know? So I thought that was not strange, but I said, now I turns it off and it comes on by itself. What's going on here? Because I had, what would I say, upload to come on live. And I knew that I had to have the TV off because I found out running the both is what's causing sometimes for causing my internet to drop. So I said, I make sure I turn this TV off before I went into the ladies' room. And when I came back out, the TV was on. I heard it in the ladies' room and said, now, how did that TV come on? But so much for that. Today is we need to talk. It's time we talk. That's the topic. And that means we're going to talk about the left, the right, the up, the down. Okay? It's just going to be all over the place and it's going to be all right. And I promise I won't hold you late tonight. Being so, I wasn't really planning on going live, but I decided to do just that, than to sit and listen to these clowns. Why not say something that at least carries some food on the plate of the spirit? I'm going to open up. I spoke with my brother today. He's my youngest. He's my younger brother. And he's in California. And I really enjoy talking to him today. I like where he's at. I like the feel of where his mindset is at. It's not where he can be, but it's good enough. And that's what we have to just deal with people where they at, not so much as where you're at, but where they are at. And what I mean by that is he's not faking anything. He just not being as a lot of people are. He just being himself. And I thought that was really nice to just hear him speak in about what is going on with him and his family and his relationship with the Most High Yah. So it really felt good to hear what he had to say. It was really good. It was really good. And I was telling him in life, it is good to have this gift from the Most High God where you can hear behind hearing. And then in that way, and in that sense, you can help people. You really can help people. But you got people who can't even hear, but yet they're leading the mass, the multitude. So that's all right too, because they too was created for that purpose in which they were, or the way they conduct themselves. So I want to say to you all in the live chat, I'm gonna let you all start off with the topic, and we just gonna swing from there. So it's time we talk. So we'll just talk, and then we'll take each topic from there. So whenever you get ready, just come up with a topic that would be interesting, and we'll just cover it. What else? Oh, I know I had to check something. I know that's crazy. I didn't even look to check to see before I start. I want to see this before I start speaking regarding this. I want to check it first. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I was wanting to check the video that I uploaded yesterday live regarding family. I noticed it that when I woke up this morning, it wasn't too many people that had viewed the message, but now I see the numbers are higher. So that makes me feel good because it lets me know that and the likes out of it is I approve of, the number. So I like that because the saddest thing is that's one of the topics that should be talked about and spoke about. And it has not. And that is family. Because when you really understand both families, okay, this one here, which is the family of the flesh, okay, all it needs to do is submit to the family of the spirit. Say, for instance, me being a mother, a sister, an aunt, a grandparent in the flesh, here it is. It needs to submit itself to who I am in the spirit. Because the one that is in the spirit really can support the one that's in the flesh 100% in righteousness. And that's what you see today in the world. No one knows that there's two families in you. A family of the spirit, a family of the flesh. Which family do you belong to? But many have to keep in mind the family of the spirit belongs to the Most High Yah. A lot of people would graft and grip the family of the spirit just to claim it, naming it and claiming it. But they are nowhere of the spirit because they haven't learned to get the flesh, which is on this side, under the subjection to the spirit to rule. And when the flesh bow down to the spirit, then the spirit can help out the flesh. That's why people can't get healed. That's why people can't get delivered. That's why people can't and don't know who they are in this spiritual walk. They don't know nothing. It's because they haven't let that flesh, they haven't brought that flesh down to submit to the spirit of who they are. They just letting the flesh rule the spirit, and the spirit all the way down to the floor, and the flesh just going at it with its feelings and its emotions and so on. Again, if you all have a topic that you all would like to just talk about, put it out in the live chat. I'm here. We're going to talk about several different issues, but I just wanted to cover that because I felt that was a very important thing. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, and this is deep. To know that there's two families, that should have woke the whole world up. I'm telling y'all, to know that there's two families, it causes you to start looking at things a little clearer. When it's this sister on this devil platform, and she telling me that there's two families. Wait a minute. I never knew that. I never understood. That's deep. I ain't never heard nobody say that. But from the Genesis to Revelation, he's always speaking too. Want me to tell you where it started? It started when Adam was put in the garden and he saw him there by himself. And what did he say? Wait a minute, y'all. Let's me bag this thing up. This ain't good that he be alone. I'm going to make him a backup. You see? A woman. A helpmeet. Because he knew to be able to bring his will forth, this man needs a place in a woman to fulfill the will of the Father. And when you think of it as fulfilling the will of the Father, it's a total different outlook. Instead of just thinking, oh, she was created for me. And what part of you was she created for? What part of you is woman created for? You really think it's about your lust thing? That's the only thing they can say. That's the only thing. That's the only thing they could say. And that shows you that they are out of order. Meaning lust have fully taken over their mindsets. Because it has to be more than that. Because he saw him and he said, it is not good that he be alone. So I need to boot up another one to help him obligation to bring forth life. To bring forth my will. That's all it was about. Same thing with us praising him. We still today in the year 2023 think it's about us and not about him. It's sad. It's sad. It really is. Because as time go on, it's still not changing the fact that people still think it's just simply about us. And then the world taking us, everything from us. And you ain't saying a word to them. But you want to make life is all about you. The world taking everything from you before you are labor and won't even see your check until the world has taken everything they want out of it, and then they hand it to you with what they want you to have after. And this is the labor. You say, for instance, you make $20 an hour. When they finish with it, you be lucky if you get $10 an hour, maybe 11, because they done took it down. And it might not even be 11. That's the world. And you don't have no problems with that. None whatsoever. It's amazing how we can't see into this. It is. Because we can see everything going on in the world, what is happening, what people are doing, but we cannot see clear the things that is unrighteous and the things that is righteous, and be able to measure the both so that you can run in this race. Because now you got both. Didn't I tell you he do everything in twos? Righteous, unrighteous. Nobody believes it. Everything he does in twos. So when the spirit and flesh is two. So that's why it's two families. Because there's a family in the spirit and there's a family in the flesh. And the reason why I say it's a very powerful message, because you can't teach it. You wouldn't get a pastor that ever lived on this earth to teach that. Don't the Father say? He that is born of the flesh is of the flesh. He that is born of the spirit is of the spirit. See, we still not gripping what has been said and what has been done, because I really believe, I think our personal opinion and our feelings and our emotions is our biggest stumbling block, one of our biggest stumbling blocks, because we get caught up in those things to where we can't see things for really, or in the clear sense of the way that it is. If it's in the darkness and seeing it in the light, the clearness of it, for what it is. All right. And it's no one cares. It's nobody. I was out today and I mean, people were driving like the world is ending. And I'm like, no police, nobody giving tickets, nobody, they just, and I think about Purge. I'm thinking about the movie Purge. I can see it. I can see it right now. I don't need to wait until it gets any worse. I can see it. And when you can see it, okay, let me explain something. When Sister Deborah keeps saying to you all, listen to what I'm saying. When Sister Deborah keeps saying to you all, I can see this here. I can see what's about to happen. You know what that's all about? Preparation. Oh, he's saying the only reason why I'm letting Deborah see it, because it's coming. I'm getting her prepared to see it now. So when it comes, guess what? She'll be able to hold on. See, a lot of people don't get it. So when you hear this sister talk, it sounds like she thinks she know it all, or she know what's coming. And let me tell you something. It's called preparation. Preparing you for what is yet to come. So when it comes, while everybody's walking around acting like, everything about the end and acting like they're crazy, you won't be in that state of mind because you already seen it. When they see it, they're going to go crazy. It's a big difference. That's showing you that comforter that comes to live in you. He's willing to do everything he can to make you comfortable while you're here, because he knows, the Father knows where we at today. It is not in a good place. I know it. It's a good place because we feel we in a good place. But the reality to it, the reality of it, we're not in a good place, y'all. We're not in a good place. No, we're not. And by him preparing me and showing me ahead of time, guess what that also do? Suffer me to endure. That means you're going to be okay. No matter what comes on, Deborah, you're going to be okay. Because when it comes, you're going to say, yeah, I saw that already. And then when you say you saw it out of your natural voice and you saw it because you saw it in the spirit, then it has prepared your flesh not to get uptight over what is happening and what is about to happen. It's called preparation. He said he does those sort of things to those that he loves. And a lot of people don't get it. Those that are branded for his name's sake. He have to prepare us, because he know these things need be. These things are going to happen and they are going to come upon us. There is a oh, you guys. When I think of the food and the water and all the chemicals that they have prepared years ago, and they still preparing even more stronger ones to put in what we eat. Look how they destroy Canada using chemicals to do that. This is how they're going to run people from one direction to another where they want them to go. Same way they did in California. You should see now, California is almost empty, y'all. Them people that moved out of California by great numbers. That was the whole plan, is to get them to move. California is dealing with, they were dealing with fires and water. Okay. And the thing about it, they did a lot of what they're doing to Canada because they wanted to get the people out of California. And that was the best way. Run them out. Let fire come upon. And that fire over in Canada, people know that that's chemical that they're also releasing. They're trying to force the people out. And guess what, you guys? They're running. They're getting out of there. The plan is successful. This is how the power that bees, and when I say the power that bees, we got to stop just looking at Satan. Okay? We got to stop just looking at Satan. Satan already had his power over to the people that is the children that are his. You see, he has his children. It's just that we don't understand. If Yah has his, we don't understand Satan has his. Those that are working on his behalf and worshiping him. And I know without a doubt the Roman Catholic is the right hand of Satan. And that means he chose them to do what is being done today in this day and time. A lot of people see that all these children in Cleveland and different part of the state are disappearing. Melanated young teenagers are disappearing by great number. And you don't hear, you don't see, you don't hear the so-called king leaders, lions, or rulers want to roar up as if they really something. And you can tell that they're nobody, because when the storm or when the fire, they don't come out to put out the fire. They don't come out to cease the storm or to ride the storm out. They all go by their way and teach you that somebody's bothering them. But yet they are not speaking toward anything that's unrighteous. So that alone lets me know that they are following under the unrighteous things that is here on the earth. They are not what you all trying to make them to be, kings, leaders, and rulers. You know, talking about ruling your own household. How you going to rule anything if you can't rule your own household in righteous? And therefore you can't rule nothing. But this is what they are giving the tickets to do, to rule. And they ain't ruling nothing. Not even themselves. Somebody's still taking care of them, paying for them to be where they at and to do what they're doing. They still been paid. Someone is paying for it. So it's just so much is going on. And to me, it's a lot of fakeness that's taking place. And the last thing I would want to do is fake in this day and time, in the hour of 2023. The last thing I would want to do is fake. Because once you start faking, you're going to always fake. You're going to end up faking. And you're going to take fakeness all the way to the grave. So I think it's the time we're in is really to really find out who you are and where you stand in the Most High Yah. Let him reveal to you where you stand, because he'll let you know if you for him or you against him. Which family are you in? Yeah, we do have a natural family, but we should never get the natural family confused with the spiritual family. Don't ever get that confused. Yeshua didn't get it confused. And if he didn't, we should. He was our example. He came here to be our example. He wasn't confused. He knew what he came down here with and what Yah had given him. He wasn't going to turn from that and say, okay, now my earthly family is more important than the spiritual ones that Yah has given me. No, this is my family. And when we come to understand that, we'll understand that the natural family can be supported by the spiritual family. Anytime spirit take the lead, it'll let you go a long ways in the natural, y'all. That's what it's all about. So it's not all about putting the natural so far down and bringing up the spirit family. It's about identifying that you are in the spiritual bloodline. And with you knowing that, you will know how. Is that thundering? You'll know how to tackle the fleshly bloodline. And a lot of people have issues on their jobs, in their community, with their neighbors. They have problems with their families. You know, all kind of things going on. Why? Because they don't know how to really separate the two and put them in order. It's getting this flesh under the subjection to the one that's in the spirit realm. So the family that's in the spirit, if you are the family member from the spirit, your family is blessed to have you in the midst of them, because you can support them in so many spiritual ways to cause a lot of diseases, sickness, illness. Those who don't are not following the protocol of what they need to be doing. By you having someone in the spiritual family, that spiritual family can get that natural family together. Oh yes, oh yes. You think he will be greater in you and not be what he said, the power? So you see how important it is to get the flesh family under the subjection to the one that's in the spiritual family. Why? Because the spiritual family can bring victory to the flesh family. It can bring healing. It can bring miracles and signs and wonders. It can bring spirit and truth. It can bring light. But can this fleshly family bring anything to the spiritual family? No. So this is going back to the point of yesterday, showing you the difference in who's who and what's what. But when you don't know that there is a spiritual family and a natural family, you just out there. And I'm going to say it like I really believe it. About 95% of people in the world are out there not knowing this. Just like they don't know the flesh and the difference from the flesh and the difference from the spirit. They don't know, because they say flesh and soul. Come on now. You got to do better than that. What happened to that image he gave us of him, of his likeness and his image? Where do that play? What role do that play? No, we so busy giving flesh and soul the role. And that's the whole idea of having soul in the middle. So you will never find out that, wait a minute, we don't need the soul, we need the spirit to help us out here in life. Isn't that deep? And because we use only flesh and soul, then therefore the one, that spirit that comes to get the victory in you, it don't get a chance to be, or an opportunity, because you fed into this word soul and flesh. Knowing he say, let us make man, let us make man in our likeness. And Yah gave man his image. Why have we forsake that for the soul and the flesh? That's where you have to learn today to separate the soul out of the way and deal with flesh and spirit. You'll go a mighty long ways, because the flesh got to submit to the spirit. It has to submit to the spirit. And once it submits to the spirit can be on top. And why is the spirit on top? Because it got power, it got spiritual wisdom, spiritual knowledge, spiritual understanding. It has the Ruach HaKodesh living in it, in your spirit. You have the one that's greater in you than he is in the world. That's all that's in your spirit. But if your spirit is submitting to your flesh, what about all that greatness that could be in that spirit? It's not in there. So the flesh rules. So the flesh dies and go to the earth, and this here spirit, it received death, because it allowed the flesh to live and overpower its whole mission on the earth. So it's important to really tap into your spirit to see where you stand in Yah. And it also identify who you are in him. So that's another good thing. It will identify who you are in him. And I said I talked to my younger brother in California, and we had a pretty good conversation. I think we talked about 4 hours, and we kind of covered a lot of things in life. And I really enjoyed talking to him, and the things that he was saying, it just made me happy, because, I've talked to several men in the last 2 weeks, and what they were saying, it just really made me happy, because it's like letting you know that there are the elects out here, and you'll know them by their fruit. The words they say out of their mouth is one of them. Because a lot of things they say, and I'm like saying, how did he get this? And then I have to understand, you're discerning him speaking the fruit of the spirit. You see, that's why you wondered how did he get it. He got it like you got it. So what are you talking about? So again, anybody in the live chat, if you have any thing you want to pull up and talk about and discuss, I had no idea that it was going to be a storm out here, and I can hear it. It is booming. Um, so let me see what else I could talk about. Oh, it's really raining. Yes. I'm going to just go to Jeremiah chapter 31. Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 16. Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 16. Let's see what this is saying. Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 16. And it reads, Thus said Ahiah, refrain thy voice from weeping, and thy eyes from tears, for the work shall be rewarded, said Yah. And they shall come again from the land of their enemy. He said, and who is he talking to? He's talking to the ones that he's going to bring out of the land of their captives. Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 16. Thou said, Ahiah, refrain from the voice from weeping and thy eyes from tears. Why would you think he would say that? It's because this is where people are going to go in days to come. They really thinking the storm is going to overpass them by. It's not. It's coming your way. And he said, refrain thy voice from weeping and thy eyes from tears, for thy work shall be rewarded, said the Most High. And they shall come again from the land of the enemy. Verse 17, and there is hope in thy end, said Ahiah, that thy children shall come again to their borders. So he's telling you how it's no need in the weeping. Didn't I tell y'all? He tell me, he said, your eye, girl, your crying is like icicle. Don't even be bothered with it. And here he's saying here in verse 16, Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 16, refrain thy voice from weeping and thy eyes from tears. It's meaning that it's worthless. Okay? He said, for thy work shall be rewarded. In a sense, I got your work in the heaven. It's written. I got it locked down. She told y'all, I got it locked down. Said Ahiah, and they shall come again from the land of their enemy. Verse 17, and there is hope in thy end, said Ahiah, that thy children shall come again to their own borders. So that's showing you that we that are in captivity is going to be at a level of where we are going to cry and weep because of what we're going to be experiencing. Let me get this dog because it is a storm. He is soaked and wet. Okay. Oh, so it has been storming there. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. You know, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Shalom, shalom. You know what's really strange? I'm gonna ask y'all something. Maybe it could be Sister Deborah. I'm an old hen. Let me ask you something. Do y'all see these people pulling up about what took place with them when they were kids? Do y'all see that? That's everywhere, even on regular TV or on YouTube, but not just on YouTube, but everywhere. Or do y'all see that? Yeah, I don't know if anybody see it. It could be here while I'm in. All right, wow, we've been having sun and heat and no rain at all. My storm might cut off my computer, but have y'all been seeing all these things that's happening to people, elderlies coming up, telling their stories about what happened to them when they were young? Come on, you guys, tell me if you have heard it. Heat, bad heat, and some storms here. Oh yeah, yeah. Have y'all been? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It's just so overwhelming to see so many people just coming out of the woodworks talking about their stories. I mean, I mean, so many of them, you guys. It is just so many of them, and I'm surprised everybody ain't heard about it. It's the heat there too, huh? Is it rain? Heat is bad. That's why I was just saying here it was about 100 something, and then now sun out looking real nice. I was just at my mother's house. Then all of a sudden, now it's thundering and lightning and booming and oops. It's on Facebook too. But I think that's something's wrong with that to me. Oh wow, was that today? Heat thundering louder than it ever been. Was that today? Because this thing is coming that's here now. I mean, it's cutting up. I mean, a lot of thundering and lightning and oh, the rain is like it's trying to end the world. Oh, the past week. See, that's strange because here we have always had 90 to 102, 110. We've been up in the hundreds for the last what 2 or 3 weeks. And rain is something we need. We got a little rain last week, but that was just it. Yeah, I just start seeing that, and it was kind of I know he said that which is in the dark shall come to the light in the last days, but I knew that a lot of this is going on. But it tells a story, y'all. A lot of the story it tells the story of uh, it, it it tells a lot of deep, dark secrets about what is actually taking place. Really. And a lot of us don't pay any attention to it, but start paying attention to it so we can talk about it. Because I would love for that to be a topic we could talk about. And I don't want to talk about it if you all have not really observed it as of yet. Yeah, you are so right, babe. Yeah, it's about time. Truth is told. It is about time. But do you think anybody listening? If you think that anybody's listening, I don't think anybody's listening. I really don't. I don't think we are in a time period where people are concerned about the pain and hurt of others that are bringing it forth today really identifying why they couldn't go on in life and do and achieve. Because a lot of these issues are hindering people from even moving on. And yeah, they all say that the family didn't believe, but what do they say more so is that the mother knew. And I'm like saying, I believe it. I believe that the mothers knows what is actually taking place. But I believe that somewhere along the line, it had became the tradition of life. And that's why I can't afford to send people back to Torah. I can't afford to send you back to the old and tell you when you got to follow this. Sit your tails down. You follow Torah. Because if you really think of it, a lot of the stuff that is taking place today, I'm going to tell you what my little brother said. He said, when you see the homosexual so loose today and so many today, I told him, but man, it's in the Bible. And he said, yeah, I know it's in there, but it ain't in there like it is today. I said, when you must ain't read the Bible. And the truth be told, he hadn't read it, because if he did, he would see exactly where it started. He don't see it over in Judge. Have y'all seen Solomon Gomorrah, homosexual in the book of Judge? You said things you hear about didn't happen in our family, secrets and why people are the way that they are. Yes, he said his mama and all knew. Did you see the girl who did that long video? The black girl, and I kind of look at her and I said, baby, please, you got to tell that story right. You got to check, you got to understand. She was raped by 16 men and had baby by her cousin. Grandmama knew it. Everybody in the family knew it, that she was having babies by family members and by her cousin. I'm like, it gets worse and worse. It can't get any worse. But what I was trying to, mom always accepted. What I was trying to understand, why did it come up so clear now and they talking about it and nobody cares? You know what I'm saying? These people are not getting any support as far as, I guess, in a sense, if they are able to open up and bring it out into the world, that's a form of support, you know? And this young man, he now he wrote a book and he's a music singer, but he's about 65. He was talking about his mother left him home with his real daddy, and they was a family. And his daddy did it up to him till he was like 16. And I'm like, wait a minute now. See, you wonder, this is why God has to do something horrible, you guys. He has to do something greater than what is being done. He has to bring more storms, and he has to bring more fierce. He has to bring more anger on this world, because people are not seeing it. They care less what people are doing and things that was done to people. They just doing, oh, mother, my family. Yeah, this here, yep, the things are secret, and now some things are coming out. Yeah, they coming out, and now a lot of them have passed away, but grandmama knew, mama knew. Sometimes it's both mama and grandmama. Exactly. And that's what they say that. And I'm like, wait a minute, grandmama, because this lady said when her mother ended up dying and she found out her mama was pimping her as a little girl, and she didn't know it. But she figured it out as she have gotten older. But when she was sent to her mama's mother, she was letting them rape her. Then she was sent with her father's mother, grandmother. She letting her grandkids, and which was her cousins, rape her. They knew all of this. They knew it. And this is what the girls say. They knew it. And then she gets on here and talk about it like it ain't nothing. I'm like, in the way it's the way her swag, I think, was what got me. It's like, it's the thing to do. I'm like, oh, no, That's what I'm saying. No one cares right now. But the problem that I have with it is it's so far, it was so far back in the days, or even way before my time. And the people are coming out today, and then people are not even thinking to say, wait a minute, what's this going on with today with people coming out like this? Want me to tell you why? Because it's still going on. That's why. Yep, he's bringing it to the light, but it seems like he got, he's going to have to bring some fire, because the way they doing it is like don't nothing matter. We got people losing their lives, people dropping dead, people getting murdered, people getting all kind of things, and everybody walking around like we don't see nothing, we don't know nothing, and so what? That's the whole. To me, that's the way I'm seeing it. And it's a repeated cycle. Exactly. And those who repeat it don't have no problem repeating it because they figured, hey, I put up with it for 40 years. So somebody else going to take a little of this hurt now as they turn. And that's how the men say. That's why they didn't want to go around their grandkids. They end up doing it to their kids, but they didn't want to go around their grandkids because they didn't want to do it to their grandkids. Because now they're older and they. But it's to me, I'm going to the whole matter. Those that were doing it got away with having sex, just like these men are trying to get this polygamy kicked in and started. But the only way they feel they can do it if they get enough of the men believing that lie. And that's what I think is so sad, because if the men had any sense, they would look at the days of Noah and then go to what the Messiah was talking about. It's going to be like the days of Noah, and figure it out, marrying and giving in marriage. What does that mean? They're not going to do it. Yep, they sure did. Now, you should hear them. They talk about that. They talk about it. Even grandmama, even letting granddaddy go into the bedroom. These people, it's just so open. And what I'm saying is so in the light. Nobody it's just like, so what? But they don't understand it's still existing. And I think he's bringing it to the light because it's so much is going on still yet today. And you saying shame on them, there is no shame. There's no shame at all. Because why would they be shaming? They got away with it for so many years. So to them, it's just the norm. What was in the dark shall come to the light. It's just it's a spirit of no nonchalant. I don't care. Yep, they are. They are. The grandmothers are talking about it. They are. And they also talking about, the grandmothers are talking about it, and they also talking about how their father has done it to them. But what I have learned, and like a lot of you all probably won't grip this, is when you walking in the spirit and the Holy Spirit is your teacher, he will teach you and he will show you things. And what he showed me was that this been going on way before we was even brought over here in ships. This been going on a long time ago. Nobody wants to look where it started, because where it started was amongst Abraham's Lot. And when you go to Judge was about the 12 tribes. And none of y'all never knew that, did you? None of y'all never knew it. It was about the 12 tribes. And they was hooked up in that. Benjamin was the one wanted to have sex with the retired king of Judah. So when they came in town, Benjamin, the city of Benjamin, men and boys wanted to, the man in the house of the elder wanted him to come out so they can have him. they wanted to do what they want. He gave them his, I think it's called porcupine, and he threw her out there to them. And when he did that, they did what they want to her, but they killed her too. So in the morning, he didn't know that they was going to kill her. And then he tell her, get up. I'm just showing you, y'all don't believe that the order of the men back in Torah was very wicked and evil. They were very, why would you take your concubine out there and let the men have her? You could have left her with her dad. Her dad didn't want her to leave, and she didn't want to leave her dad, but you insist on you own her. You own her, and her dad pleaded for you to leave her there. And you took her and gave her to people who wanted to have sex. And you tossed her out there to them and let them have her. But if you didn't really want her, why did you take her? You could have left her with her father, who really wanted her, and she wanted to stay with her father. But because men feel they own you, and this is why I'm telling y'all, that has always been a lie. That is not the way Genesis 1 said. He called them. You are to replenish everything he said do on the earth. He called them to do it, not him. So if you look at it and see, now if Yah called in his perfect will them, how did we get to the point where it's only about him? And this is why they did that. And that's how they got away with raping these little girls and having babies by these little girls back in the biblical day. Because the reason why Yah in the world is because men were multiplying and they began to have babies, daughters. They wasn't waiting till these daughters get to be adult or women. They were selling them as many as they please, taking as many as they please, sex trafficking. And is something that's going to go booming and booming and booming. That is booming now. And it's been for quite some years, but it's starting to, they starting to open the door to make it like legal. I don't know if y'all know that or not. The growing and happening to them, it's not a big deal and normal. Yeah, they're making it normal. Mind control. It's definitely, a lot of them say that they tell them they're going to kill their mom, or they're going to kill their grandma, or they're going to kill them. It's always got to do with something they telling them as far as killing. And that's what I just don't understand what kind of game was being played in these houses where killing is okay to tell your family members that I'm going to kill you. If you don't let me do if you let me do what you want me to do, I'm going to kill you if you tell somebody. I mean, they were doing it anyway. They weren't going to stop. And honestly, you guys, it has gotten to the point where one says what? Brainwashing too. Yeah. But this is what happened is you wonder how we can sit today and want to place males back in that type of category. Why do we want to place them back onto a pedestal like that? Right now, we need to place Yah on every pedestal that exists. Keep him high, because sitting here keeping these men, putting these men up high, and they're doing all kind of things like that. So this is what happened. When they get into this polygamy, guess what's going to happen, y'all? And they see where their nations are starting to graft it and get involved, then they're going to start marrying young babies. You see? And ain't nobody going to be doing. They're already taking them sexual. I'm sitting here listening to this man and this lady saying total different fathers that their daddy made them have oral sex with them when they was 2 and 3. And I'm like, said, y'all can say what you want to say. Sister Deborah got an issue with not the men just yesterday, but greater, it's worse of this today. Just like you see homosexual yesterday, it was in yesterday, and you see it today. You would think that yesterday was really bad, but today is even worse because we are bypassing it and making it normal today, to where yesterday, in the eyes of Yah, ain't none of that crap normal. Kill them all. No. And today, the flesh of man, since they doing so many sins, they don't care. They make everything normal now. Everything is okay. Oh, it's no problem. It ain't hurt nobody. And that's why we are now in the lawlessness of time. And yes, a lot of brainwashing. Yep. Yeah, they chopped her up into pieces and then send each piece to the tribe. Oh, so you read it too, huh? Yeah, send each piece to the tribe, and the tribes war with Benjamin. That's what happened. The tribe went out and war against Benjamin. It's some crazy stuff. Yep, you read it too? Yep. Still today and worse. It's worse today. And when you get that mindset that it's worse, boy, I'm telling y'all, in the spirit realm, it is so important to live a life where you know that Yah is in you. I'm telling you, it is so important. Because just imagine, these things are actually happening. And the only way you're going to be able to keep them from your children, you have to be the light in the house. You have to be the one walking around with spirit and truth. You have to be the one who recognize within you. You recognize, hey, am I a family of the spirit, or am I the family of the flesh? And if I'm the family of the spirit, when wait a minute, my offspring ain't going to be harmed. This ain't going to happen to mine. That's the power of being able to recognize that you are the family of the spirit, because the family of the spirit can recognize that the other family is not the family of the spirit, but they my family of the flesh. But I have the power to change things in my family of the flesh. Y'all didn't know that, did you? Yes, you do. When you claim Yah for what he is, you'll see the difference in who he is, what he's going to be, and who he is. You'll see the difference in how he works in you, giving you the power to see that you can have dominion over your whole household. But if you don't know what side you play on, you could be playing on the side of the family of the flesh. But he's saying if you are the family of the spirit, you have the power over the ones that's of the flesh. So you can actually tame the things that's going on in your household of members of your flesh. You can do it. And a lot of people don't know. That's what he means when he said he puts a light in every household. Yes, he does. It's just that they never get recognized. Yeah, they tell them to get over it. That's one of the number one thing. Oh, that's happening. Get over it, baby. That thing has ruined people's lives. And these men had to go into other families, y'all. These women had to go into other families. So how can we get over something that has ruined us to where if we get into a family, we are ruining our family if we have not defeated this that you just telling us, oh, it's been it just get over it. See, people don't understand that. It ain't like that. Yep. But I was trying to piece it. And I guess the Holy Spirit would show me, because I really need to understand that, because the more and more I turn on my channel on my YouTube, I'm seeing this, and I saw it on the television too. But I'm like, I'm seeing this so clear. What is this? Father, I know all this been going on, because I did the evaluation of the 100 men that been molested, all their lives when they was a baby to they a teenager. So when I see this just coming out of nowhere today, yesterday, the day before, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's everywhere, all on YouTube. People telling their stories coming out. What is that for? Something is going on. What could that be that something like this is coming out? I tell you one thing, it's showing you that your people, now, all the ones I've seen has been Black people, every one of them. To me, I know that the heathens will put that on there so they can still make us look bad. But the reality is, like the Father said to me, are they doing it? See, that's what people think We are quick to say when they just trying to make us look bad and showing us up and saying we doing this here and they don't have what they doing. But God is saying like this here. Are they doing it, Deborah? Are they doing what these people say they are doing? And if you say yes, then he said, what are you talking about? Just lie because one is lying, the other they lie for them too. You see, and that's like a lot of us. We cover up stuff that's in our families. No matter what our kids do or whatever our wife do or whatever our husband do, we cover it up. We just don't want to really bring it out, and you don't know the victory in bringing dark stuff in the dark out. It is victory in that, baby. It is victory. Yeah, a lot of people say it like that. It ain't them. It ain't my family. And wrong is wrong. That's it. That is so right. Because y'all ever heard a person say that you don't know how I feel because you ain't been through it? Baby, you don't have to go through it to know the feeling. You get what I'm saying? Oh, okay. You said Luke 12. Let's see. In Luke chapter 12, verse 2. Luke chapter 12, verse 2. And it reads, Luke chapter 12, verse 2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed. Very good. Neither hidden that shall not be known. So that can answer it, huh? And I'm sure he probably talking about even in the last days, these things are going to come out even in great numbers. See, that's another example. Luke chapter 12, verse 2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. So we know from this is that it must come out from behind the darkness. It must be known. But what my thing is, it once it come out and it's known, what else is there? Let's read 3. Luke chapter 12, Luke verse 3. Therefore, whatsoever ye have spoken in the dark shall be heard in the light, and that which ye have spoken in the ear in the closet shall be proclaimed upon the mountaintop. It all gonna come out. That's what he said. No matter which route you're trying to cut into, it's all gonna come out. It's gonna come out. And that's probably why. Because I'm like looking at this, I'm like, wait a minute, Father, ain't this a little bit too much? Every day I get on here, it's like 15, 20 people telling their separate story. And then what encourages them is when they read somebody, they see somebody else on here. And I think that makes them come out. But hey, y'all, it's stories on here that these people are talking about. You be like, Father, oh my goodness, oh Mama, why you let Daddy, why you let the men and Daddy do that to the baby? I couldn't see my baby being done like that, y'all. I just couldn't see it. I couldn't see it. And yeah, that was in Luke chapter 12, verse 3. Oh yes, it definitely turned ugly. But you know what though? The strangest thing about it, it's something about where we at today. Because I was just talking to my little brother, and he wants to take my 4 sisters, older sisters, I and my youngest sister out to dinner August the 20, the August the 18th this year. And he was saying he's coming in town and he wants to talk to my sisters. And I was like telling him that these sisters, where they at right now, as far as they like this at each other, y'all, like this here. Now, these are old heads. They older than I am. And the youngest sister is about 2 years, 3 years. No, is she 2 years younger than I am? So they are doing a lot of chaos. And he wanted to take us all out to eat. Now listen to this. He wanted to take us all out to eat and talk to us. You know what I had to tell him? I had to tell my brother, I said, you're not the one, bro. These sisters ain't gonna listen to you. First and foremost, you don't even know the truth of the matter of what's going on. So you really don't have what it takes to think that you can bring truth to them and they gonna listen. No, bro. Not these. I know. I say, first and foremost, I'm not going to eat with nobody. I'm not going to eat with nobody. Let me send him this. You know why, y'all? Because first and foremost, I'm up to here. I've been stopped when I had my first son, my oldest son, I stopped going out to eat with them because they do a lot of eating. And this the type of eating called glutty. So when y'all hear him talking about, that's why I tell y'all, the Father knows what he's talking about when he's talking about in the last days, they're going to be feasting, because people think they take food and make it their God. It's just that bad. It's just that bad. So what happened is he wants to come here, take them out to eat. No, they're not going out to eat. Furthermore, I won't be there. I'm not going to go to no restaurant and pay them people some money to sit down and talk to stupidity. I'm not going to do it. So I tell them what you can do. You can go to the big house and I will get them to come there. And because he wants them to be a part of like his birthday, because his birthday is in August, I think the August or something. He say, I don't even know, but it's in August. He said, well, what if you had a birthday cake for me and just have coffee? I said, yeah. But for as food, I'm not going to sit up in no restaurant and they do that 5 or 6 times a week. Need to not like that. None of them. They've been doing it all their lives. So, and I told him, you're not the one to sit down and talk with them. Baby, we need something a little stronger than that. And I said, with me, when I get them over when they come over to the big house, they know I'm the one that don't go for no crap. And I'm going to set the pace for you to speak. Because I'm going to have to let them know I'm standing here because I ain't for no crap. You see? So he was saying, okay, I see what you're saying. And I said, I'm also going to have little David, which is Big David. He's a big guy. And the reason why we call him Little David, because he's David Jr. and Quiet Storm, my son Joseph. They're going to be there to be the mediators, okay? To one to say, look, y'all, we can only hear one voice at a time. Nobody should be hollering over. Because Joseph is not to the point where, okay, those are my aunts. They older than me, and I can't talk to them. Like, no. Wait a minute. I'm about righteous. What's going on? You see, he ain't about all that yang. And David is also, little David is also, he's little David, but he's Big David. Little David is also like that. He's a loner. He ain't for all that yang. You put those 2 men in there, that's what you call kings. And you put those loudmouth women and then don't have me up in there. I'm already giving them the prompts because I know who they are and they can handle this. And I want to see them handle this. Not only do I want to see them handle it, I'm going to let them handle this as far as being the mediator, because it's 4 of them, 4 of them that's older. And then it's the youngest sister, you see? And they're feuding y'all big time. And it's affecting my mother, who's saying that I'm old and I don't want them. I want them. You know what, mama? you might as well get with the program. They've been like that. It's just like you just said in here in Luke chapter 12, verse 2 and 3. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. So all this darkness that's been kept and the things that has been done, it's just playing itself out. What? It's just playing itself out. So it's coming to the light. So he said, when I think that'll work. I like the way you're saying this. Let's do it that way because I think it'll work. So that's the way we're going to do it. I'm not going to sit up in no hotel, no restaurant and pay somebody $200 and something so they can sit down and eat and act a fool at the same time. No, in no restaurant, you can't tame their mouth. But see, if you get them off to where one can speak, one jump up, then the other one, you have the two mediator, and then I'm going to be there. I'm non-tolerant. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you my mama and my daddy. I'm non-tolerant for nonsense. So we're going to try to bring this here situation, at least to the and honestly, let me tell y'all the truth. Honestly, I don't know if it's going to work or not, but it's still worth a try. You see, it's still worth a try. Yep. I'm going to tell you something. When you tell the truth about the family, a member can't handle it, that is exactly what I'm saying in the midst of them. They ain't going to want the one that keeps up the mess. She can't stand it. Me, I do know she has a lot of demonic diseases and mentally things that's going on. But it's not the type of mentally that she can't live a normal life and that she don't need to be bound down to Satan. Her husband is so-called assistant pastor, and she is in the church every time the door is open. But she's the one that don't realize you are the troublemaker. You are the one. You think nobody don't know that? You think nobody don't know that? Please. You see, so with somebody like her, she would be the one that, like you say, a member, a family member, you tell the truth, not about anything, and that's what it has to do with the past, and is what causing them to be angry at what took place, and she didn't do what she was supposed to do, and she called herself mad at them because now she feels she here now and they down here because she got money now. Woo-wee! All will be revealed. And you know what, y'all? It's not even, honestly, it's not. And this is what my brother was saying. My mother said to me, when we all go out, I want to come because we're going to talk about all this stuff. You know what I told my little brother today? She ain't coming nowhere. You ain't coming nowhere. You ain't coming. Because they ain't going to be cutting up in here and putting you in the middle. They're really, people have a tendency of putting mama in the middle of everything. Everything, because they think that that's a way of doing it. And I don't know why. I know mama might allow them to get away with a lot of things, and now they figure, when we'll blame her and so on. So, but wait a minute, in this with this meet up, honey, baby, let me tell you something. Mama gonna have mama at home, but in this meeting, she ain't coming. She thinks she is. She ain't coming. I told my son, my brother, she ain't gonna be there. For what? This ain't got nothing to do with her. These are grown folks. Senior citizens. So what do you need to step in here for? These kids don't listen to you. They ain't no kids. They seniors, just like you are. Only thing they'll do is put you in the middle. You taking sides. That's what they'll do, y'all. They'll tell her she taking sides. Oh no, I didn't say that. And mama, you said this, and you said this, mama, but you told me she said, all that. No, you ain't gonna do that. Because if you do that, there's somebody in trouble. Don't let me get there and act a fool with y'all. Because they know I can clown. I can clown. So I told my little brother, she thinking she going somewhere. Mama thinking she's gonna be there. She ain't gonna be nowhere. She gonna have herself at home somewhere. Let us handle this. So because the first thing they'll do, y'all, they'll put mama in the middle and think they can swing the conversation that way. You ain't gonna get away with it. It's always important because what happened and what it is having, but this is like I told my youngest brother, I say now, they ain't gonna listen to you. Okay. You ain't been around them and grew up in the last 40, 50 years around them. They ain't gonna listen to you. They ain't gonna get you because you coming from California and you the only brother that we have left. No, it ain't like that. They ain't gonna listen to you. But I'm going there and I'm gonna set the pace. And honestly, when I talk, everybody get quiet. But I'm not gonna talk to judge anyone or to tell somebody you this, and why did you do this? What did you do this? I'm gonna say enough to let them know. Now we ain't about no crap up in here, y'all. We about to talk about this thing. Ain't gonna no over speaking against no one and over talking and all that. We don't have to do that. All of y'all in here, all of us sitting right in here are seniors. All of us past 60 years old. So we ain't going there. Okay. So and then I will let my younger brother speak. Then after he speak, each and every one of the sisters will say what happened and what they felt that was wrong, and the question I will propose when how can or what can be done or what can be said that can correct this situation. And you know what? They ain't gonna know what to say. See, when you tell them, if you got a problem, hey, hold on, sister, wait a minute. Okay, you said she did this, she did this, she did this. So you got a problem with that, what they did, right? You said she did this, she did this, she did this. You got a problem, right? Now, pull up with the solution. Pull up with the solution. If you got the problem, I know in your back pocket somewhere you got the solution. They ain't gonna have it. And see, this is where I want to put them in that position. If you got the problem, bring the solution with you. I know you got it in your back pocket. Pull it out. Because you said you got a problem with what she said or what he said or whatever. Okay, we heard you. We're here to hear it. Now give us your solution to this problem. That's what my whole thing would be, is to get them to solve it with hearing your problem, but also what solution. And then when we finish listening to everybody who said they had a problem with this one said this, okay, what's the solution? See, you got to put them in a chokehold. Because they you know how they come in to just say when they did. Okay, we hear you. Now, what is the solution? You see? They won't even give you now, but you got to put them in that spot. You got to put them in that spot. You say, yo, nutty family, you are quit. What'd you say, yo, nutty family? What'd you say, all nutty? All families are nutty to the point of madness. Oh, yes. It is just so strange. But I'm hoping that something come out of it. But guess what, y'all? I know somebody, y'all tell me, everybody tell me, thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Okay. One of the issues is one of the sisters gave a lump sum of money, and I don't think it's no more than $200-300 to one of the other sisters, and she said she was going to pay her back. but she never paid her back. So now the sister that she gave the money to have inherited money, and she refusing to pay the money back. Woo-wee. Now, listen to this. As I was talking to my brother, my solution in that is to find out how much exactly it was. Have Quiet Storm to have an envelope with that amount in it. Okay? And whatever one sister say, when I owed you this and I don't owe you that much, I owe you this, and the other one said, well, no, you owe me this. We'll stick with what the lender gave, not the borrower, because the borrower don't want to pay back. But we'll put that in an envelope, okay? And as they discussing this, each one will say what the solution is. And if the one that had borrowed the money refused to give it back, then Quiet Storm would have had the amount on the table and say, can we solve this issue with what if the solution is, and listen to this, to take this, which you say she owes you. She says she don't owe you. But can we smash this situation if we give you this envelope with the amount that you said she owe you as a solution to this problem? Tell me, thumbs up, thumbs down. If that a good night, let me give you the outcome of it. Let me give you the outcome of it. Because in Sister Deborah's mind, you remember in the Bible when there was a baby and both ladies had the baby? You remember that? And he decided, okay, we're going to cut the baby in half. And the real mother would rather give the baby to the fake mother, not the mother, because she didn't want the life of the mother, the baby, to be cut in half, to die. So the key to it is, when we solve the problem, the one that did the borrowing is going to feel guilty. In hope, and even if she don't, but in hope that when she see that the solution has been solved and she didn't pay her debt, then her conscience, y'all, her conscience should be able to look at that situation and say, well, you know what? I know I owed her. When I tell you what, boo, I'll give it back to you. You see what I'm saying? She'll say, well, okay, whoever gave it to her, I'll give it back to you. You see what I'm saying? What do y'all think about that? Huh? Yeah, that was King Solomon who cut the baby. The baby was talking about the baby, splitting the baby in half. So you think that's a good idea? What about y'all? Somebody else give me their opinion on that. You want me to say it again? Okay. If I know one of the issues, this is just one of the issues. One sister had given the other sister in between 200 or 300. We don't know which one it is, but I will find it out before that meeting. And she never did give the sister the money back. So now that she received an inheritance, she has the money, but she will not give it to the sister in which she borrowed. So the sister is mad at her. And she's holding the money, trying to find other reasons why the sister is mad. And you know why the sister is mad. You ain't paid your debt. So we're at the meeting, when you hear both sides, and the sister said you never paid, and she said, well, I don't feel I owed it, or I didn't pay. I don't feel I owe you that much, or you didn't give this to me this much, or whatever the issue is. Quiet Storm will have the amount in the envelope on the table. And to solve that problem, if we were to give you this here, will this solve the problem? Would this be the solution? And the other sister who knows she owed the debt, she'll pour me over or quiet storm, but most likely me, and said, you didn't have to do that, but I'll give it back. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So what I'm thinking is, that's what I'm thinking about doing for that situation. And the other situation is going to be easy because I'm going to tap into the emotions. Okay? I'm going to tap into the emotions to get them to see how important it is to respect each other and to see each other as family. I just say that, as a family, because you can't see them as nothing else, and that everybody have their way of doing things and saying things. And a lot of times we say things we really don't mean. And sometimes we even want to take it back, but don't know how. And because we don't know how, we let our emotions and our feelings get in the way. And then we just freeze up on it. Say, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to repent. I'm not going to say I'm sorry. I'm just going to leave it alone. That person just wrong. We find just reasons of why what we said and what we did and how we did it. But if life is just as simple as saying, well, maybe I was wrong, something is as simple as that, to do, should you go on living against each other because of something? So with me, I think that a lot of things they're doing is too heavy. Yep, it's just too heavy. Yeah, you would think she would. That's what I said. You would think she would, but she's the greed and she's the selfish one. Oh, she ain't gonna do that. All right. So that, yeah, I think that's okay. That's good. That's good to hear. Thumbs up. All right. But the thing I will say, when Sister Deborah won't be finished, I say, but I come up, you says neither one of y'all a solution meets the middle or the center of the table. I will say this: if we just give you what she owed you, since she don't feel she owe you, or she don't feel she owe you that amount, so we just going to give this and hope that this could be the solution to the problem. But also, I want to recommend that from this day on, we are seniors. There was a route that you all did where you were loaning and lending and borrowing. You need to consider not to do that anymore. Okay. Especially when you feel that you've given something and an individual, didn't pay back. You need not. You think seconds before you give again. True or not, one bad apple spoils the whole, you know what? So I'm hoping that, that they would just have been there to just talk and solve some things and talk about some things. I think a lot of times, do you know what I think, you guys? I think when you are able to speak out towards something, it's a healing in itself. I really do. I think being able to open your mouth and speak out is such a great healing all in itself. People want to be heard. People want those to hear their voices and hear what they got to say and hear. So I just think sometimes it's wanting to be able to be heard. And after you have been heard, let me tell you, a lot of people just drop it because now they've been heard. They've been, you listen to them. Their voice, it's out now. You know what I'm saying? Going back to, like I say, in Luke chapter 12 and verse 2, nothing covered that shall not be hidden. So a lot of us are covering, and we are covering so much anger and issues of unforgiveness and dislike, because the ways of people today is so, how would you say it, is so off the chain to where you really can't, it's hard for you to find anything in you to just look at it as something and say, I just, and just keep going on. It just seems to still haunt you because of the things that they keep continuing to do in family. And I'm gonna bring the word on them, y'all. I'm gonna bring a little something. You're never first thing I'm gonna tell them, and it's gonna hurt their little heart, y'all. It's gonna hurt their little hearts. It's gonna hurt their little hearts, because I'm gonna let them know. You won't find the scriptures in this Bible to tell you anything about family. Nothing. This book does not set the pace for a family. Matter of fact, if you really paid attention yesterday, Yah is against family. Because when he see family, family is against all ways righteous. When he went back into the town in which he lived, where his mother, his sister, and everybody was born and was at, you know what? He didn't even do miracles and signs and wonders there. You know why? He said a prophet is not received or accepted in his own town, meaning in his own city. Why? Because his family is there. And if they don't embrace him, that's the whole town. He's not being accepted. If his family is not accepting him, he's not being accepted. And he's telling the truth, and nobody really thinks of it like that. Nobody look at the fact that, wait a minute, Yeshua went back home twice. And he tells you when he went home, his mama, his sister and them, they envied. They was jealous. Because the people were saying, isn't he this? Isn't he the one that did it? And they got envy and jealous. Mama too. And he said and said, a prophet is not received or accepted amongst his own town, nor in his own, amongst his family. We then took family and made it something that it would never be. But we want to live in it just like that. And y'all say, I have no problem. But recognize there's two families. And I love that. Because as I see in what he called family, it's always, I'm going to bring the sword between mother and father, not mother and daughter, father and son. I come not to bring peace to father and son, mother and daughter. What is this here with the family, Father? Because the Father knows that it's a lot of fakeness. To tell you the truth, it's a lot of fakeness in the family, y'all. It's a lot of jealousy. It's a lot of hate. It's every wicked characteristics of life can rest in your family. Can't nobody hurt you like your family can. That's because the Most High Yah, he knew that when it came down to that natural family, that's where you're going to learn. And this is what I always told my children. If you ever think in-house where you came up and I brought you up was bad, let me tell you something. If you survive this and you learn from this here, you're going to be the most successful person on the other side, without a doubt. Because you should be able to go in the household, be able to master whatever turmoil and issue. And I ain't talking about raping and molesting. I'm talking about just basic family. Not basic family, because you can't even say basic life with not all that sick mess going on. But if you're able to come out, you've nailed it. No one comes out of their family being the enemy, being against their family. I think that's the worstest thing anybody could do. Like I told my young brother, I said, what I did, I stayed away. The ways of the things that they did, I just stayed away. I had too many babies to breastfeed. I had too many babies to feed and take care of, to be caught up and they play, and they didn't have none. So I was busy, y'all. I had a husband to take care of and 6 children. You think I had time to play with them? No. So I stayed to myself. I had too many soccer teams and swimming team and gymnastics and track meets and what else? Baseball and football and all this whole stuff. Honey, I ain't got time for y'all and all this crap. But I tell them, if you make it out successful, don't ever leave your mother's house her enemy. Don't ever leave your mother's house her enemy. I've always told my kids that, y'all, because it's got a lot of power in what I'm saying. When you leave out of my house, you leave out my friend. Me being mother, you being my child. But don't leave out my enemy, because you're going to remain my enemy. That means don't keep up a lot of negative things going on in this house in which I have raised you and brought you up, nourished you, and took care of you. Fly after you get out there so you can have respect for where you come from, because you never know when you got to come back. So don't be my enemy going out. You either be my friend going out so that you can be able someday, if you in a situation, you can come back. Because if you come back my enemy the way that you left out, hey, it ain't going to be cool. So don't come up out of here. Anything that you owe me, that you said to me that was wrong, that you done it, you better clear that mess before you leave this household. Because if you leave out my enemy, and it ain't because you say you my enemy, it's when I say you my enemy, you in big trouble, baby. I don't play with these people. I don't play with people. I don't give a rat's behind who you are. Because I'm the one that done everything and was there for you, made sure everything you got, you everything worked out for you, everything, your whole life. And you finna leave it making me your enemy? Wait a minute, hold up, bro. I'm going to not be your enemy when you leave. I'm going to be your enemy whenever you think to come back, because you left out wrong. It's called leaving out of your mother's household the wrong way. You should never do that. Never do that. You should never do that. Never. I never left out of my mama's household. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ain't that something? I just don't see that. I can't see that. I'm gonna raise all y'all tails and give y'all my whole life, and then you gonna leave out this dog? Baby, I got some issues with that. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. So I'm hoping. I ain't gonna hope it. I know it's gonna turn out really nice, and I think we're gonna be able to take on this situation come the 18th of August. I think all is going to go well. Yeah, all is going to go well. And I started to fix something for them to eat. I ain't giving them nothing to eat. I'm sick of them wanting something to eat every time you turn around. I ain't finna fix nothing to eat. I'm going to get my brother a cake, and he said coffee. And I said, that sounds good to me. I can use some coffee right now, y'all. I really can. And I was telling him that sounds good for me. I ain't thinking about that. I think we could probably pretty much solve the situation without a doubt. But in it, I still would be praying the day before and the night of. The night before and the day before, in the morning. I might even do a fast the day before and the day of, and let us meet up that evening just to be right in the spirit. Okay, just to have the right. Anything else we need to talk about? We even talked about this Hens family. Let's anything else we can talk about. And I know we mentioned of all these things that people are coming out with what has been done. I want you all to just take truly, when you see these things, pray for these people. That pray for them. Just send they situation to the Father and put it before His throne for these people who's coming out saying these things. Because I can't imagine someone doing that to my children, or doing that even to me. and if something's going on, I cannot explain it. For all this stuff to be coming out like that, it's just like, and I read it, I see exactly what you said. It's sitting here saying it. It's saying it in the book. It's telling us that, okay? In Luke chapter 12, and Mark, and Matthews and John, it says the same thing. But it's something right now in the atmosphere that is bringing all this stuff forward. And when you get a people who acting like it doesn't matter, ain't nothing going on, we the people, we the true Jews, and ain't seeing all this crap coming to the light, it's something strange about that, y'all. It's something strange that we as a people, you know what I think it is? It's this here that's gone. That's what it has to be. It has to be this totally gone. Because if you think about it, if he's suffering for the things in the dark to come to light and you still can't see it, something's going on. Something's going on. Yep. Because I'm waiting for the next topic. If anybody have anything, so we can take the next topic. I think about how Father God has kept me and my kids. I never let my kids go stay with nobody. I raised my own kids. My kids didn't go into daycare centers. Daddy's family, mama's family. No. I raised my own. I raised my own. Thank you, Father. With the help of the Most High Yah, with the glory and the help of the right hand of the Father. Yeah, I couldn't have done it myself. Do we have another topic? Shalom, family. Shalom. Do we have another topic we need to cover? I think we do. And I don't know what angle it's coming from. And you might wonder why I keep saying that. I want to keep talking, but something wants me to open up the live chat for a topic that somebody must bring forth. I don't know what it is. Yep, with y'all's help, it can't be done. And I mean, every morning I wake up, I say, I couldn't have done it without you. I could not have done it without you. Yep. Oh, you was a single parent, huh? But let me tell you something. I was a single parent. Oh, Father, yeah. I had a husband in the house, but yet I was a single parent. How about that? The imagination of the heart and of the mind, we would have to go back to the two, because there is an imagination of the flesh heart and the flesh mind, and there is an imagination in the spiritual heart and spiritual mind. So the only imagination is that which is in the fleshly heart and the fleshly mind. The spiritual heart and spiritual mind is the real deal. That's the real deal. But the flesh has imagination of the heart and the imagination of the mind. But you have two heart and two minds, one for the spirit and one for the flesh. So the imagination of the heart of the flesh and the imagination of the heart of the flesh mind is off the whack. It has its own imagination in the way it sees, even right and wrong. Everything it sees, it has its own imagination of it, but it's separate from the heart and mind of the spirit, and that's a blessing. That is a blessing. That's why when you get the flesh under the subjection, mean let it fall down and let the spirit rise, then it can help this old wicked thing. But if you let the spirit fall and then you just let the flesh rule until you die, then it's ruling the whole life of the spirit, mind and heart. But the spirit got his own mind and heart. But it fell down to let the flesh have its own mind and heart. And it has some imagination. And a lot of it is not good. Yep. Have you done things, and have you ever did things and you wonder, you know for a fact it wasn't you that came through it? You know that it's no way I could have did this by myself. There's no way I did this. It's no way I can come through this. Have that ever happened to you where you saying, oh no, this is no way I could have done that? It happens to me all the time. That's the reason why I'm asking. Malachi 4, 5, and 6. Let's see what you got here. Malachi 4, 6. Remember ye the law of Moses, my servant, which I command unto him in, what's that? Whole rep, rock, I don't know, whole, rep for all Israel with the status and judgment. Behold, I will send Elijah, the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Yah. And he shall turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the hearts of the children to the fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. Okay, I want anybody can take on this here, okay? Not just Sister Deborah. I want you to understand something in verse 6. And he shall turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the hearts of the children to the father. You know, that's very powerful. I wonder, and you know what? So this is not right, y'all. That's not right, because I start to ask y'all a question. Do y'all see the power in that? You really don't, and I don't even know why I'm asking you. Now we in Malachi chapter 4, and that's verse 5 and 6. It says, it's 5 and 6, and what else? Verse 5 and 6. It says, behold, I will send you Elijah, the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Yah. I want y'all to understand the great and dreadful day of Yah is not the day of Yeshua. Okay? You got to be careful with these days. We got the day where he's going to take us out of Babylon to the promised land. We got the day where Yeshua is going to go to the four corners and collect what belongs to him. Okay? You got that day. And then this day here is the end. The dreadful day of Yah. Before I come, I will send you Elijah, the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Yah. Before the coming of any day of Yah, whether it's the day of Yeshua and the angels on the four corners to come get, or even the day before he take us out to take us to the promised land, he always sent a prophet. He always sent a prophet. That's the norm. You open Genesis to Revelation, he always sends a prophet to tell the people something. Like today, if you think for 1 minute, you really believe a lot, 99.9, that Sister Deborah just on here patty caking, but really don't understand. Not just me, he sent others. He always sends the prophets to give the warning. And it's called blowing the trumpet, the warning. And here in verse 5, he says, behold, that means, look, I will send you Elijah. Elijah represent a prophet. Okay. the prophet. It tells you that before the coming of the great day, dreadful day of Yah. He's going to be telling you the dreadful day of Yah is at hand. The dreadful day of Yah is at hand. He's going to be out there telling everybody the dreadful day of Yah is at hand. And he might not call it the dreadful day, but he's going to say the day of Yah, or the anger of Yah, or the fierce of Yah is at hand. He's going to be out there telling them. So you see the just in the Father. You see how just he is. He's willing to give you a warning before he do anything. He always was like that from the beginning all the way to the end. He always set warnings, and he sent his prophet to give the warnings. But look what it says in verse 6. And he shall return the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to the fathers, lest I come and curse and smite the earth with a curse. This heart is not natural, y'all. He's going to do something that's done. And I'm going to tell you the key to this here. Men, if you ain't never been in the right place with the Most High Yah, not the right place with your wife, your children, with your family, with this world, with this chaos, not in the right place of a king, leader, and ruler. But if you ain't in the right place with the Father, this doesn't fit you. You know why? When you look at this man, guess what it said? I'm bringing the sperms back into the man. I'm bringing Eve and all back into the man. That's what he said. That's why you don't see woman. You don't see wife. Because she's a child. She's included in the child. You don't see him saying your sons, your daughters, your wife, your mother. He's not saying that. He's letting you know the children is everything that came out of you men. I'm bringing them back to the heart, because that's where it should have been. They should have felt that these children were theirs, and they didn't. So Yah is going to make it perfect like it should have been, turning the heart of the father back to the children. Who are the children? Let's go here. Let's show y'all what I'm talking about. Let's go to Gospel of John, because y'all still ain't gonna get it. But and that's why I say a lot of people ain't gonna never get it, and it's okay not to get it, because the Father says finished. So to say that it's finished, that means they ain't gonna get it. So when you go to the Gospel of John, there it is, verse 4. Verse 4. In him was life. Yah is the breath of life. And in the breath of life is the light. And look at the light. That light of men. You see men? That don't mean a single man. It means men. They were given the light. They were given the light. So what do you say, Deborah? You go back here. He ain't said woman. He told men the light always was in you. And you lied from the beginning to the end. Even to today, you're willing to lie. But the ones that I'm going to work on, you go back to Malachi, verse 6. Chapter 4, Malachi, verse 6. And I shall turn the heart of the Father back to the light in which I had given them, and the heart of the children back to the Father. You see that? Because the Father is at the first one, and the Father is at the second one. He's bringing the children back into the Father. and the father's heart to the children. Why? Because men, you've been in this world all since he created it and never realized that the children has always been yours. Why can't nobody see that? Why is it they don't see it? And this is the sort of stuff that makes me so assured of what he said. They gone. They gone. While they running around here trying to get polygamy, to have many wives. The one around here trying to master what he said. It's going to be like the days of Noah. Men selling their daughters to others men for all the lust reason. Why is a man taking women as many as he's pleasing? For what reason? Come on now. It was still that sex game that was going on then, like a lot of them talking about being molested. They didn't have no feelings toward what they did to the women back in the days. Never did, y'all. Never did. That's why when people talk about Torah, get your Torah tail somewhere and sit down. Get your Torah tail and sit down somewhere. You don't know what you're talking about. So here, you see, and then what he says, and the hearts of the children to the fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. Meaning I say I ended, Deborah. But I'm going to turn the hearts. Notice he's sending a prophet first. And then he said, and he shall turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to the father. Where is woman in there? Where is wife in there? Where is daughter in there? Where is son in there? It ain't in there. Because wife, grandmama, daughter, aunt, uncle, brother, sister, all came from the father from the beginning. And he's going to turn it back like it was in the beginning. And he's going to use the heart to turn the fathers back to the children, because the children came from them. And they walking around here like they ain't got nothing to do with this crap that's going on in this world. And they are the cause. The father is the cause of everything that's going on in the world. And we keep patting their head. You okay, baby? It ain't you. It's we. It takes two. You just don't know, baby. You just don't know what's in the eyes of the Most High. And you go back to the Gospel of John, chapter 4, Deborah, in me was life. That's the breath. And the breath was to give the light to man. Men. M-E-E. That's the light. The children are the light that was given to him. You see? He had them. When you go into a look through a microscope and you see sperms, all you see is a whole bunch of lights going all over the place, like it's live. Try. Oh, you can look it up on Google and it'll show you. Just show you what it looked like. But I'm just trying to say to you, this is why he got to return it back. Why? That's how it was in the beginning, Deborah. That's the way I created it. So when you wonder why I created Adam by himself, because I took and put all life in him. They didn't know it. Woman came out of him because I had put all male and female in him. So when he talking about women, negative, he's talking about grandma, great-great-grandma, aunt, uncle, or not uncle, every female. And you only talking about yourself. That's how ignorant they are. Because she came from you. So why do you think he said, I'm going to visit the iniquities of the fathers 3 to 4 generations? Because these are his monsters, y'all. See, y'all don't get it. Women run around here holding these kids thinking they gold to them. And don't even know, baby, you got a bunch of monsters just waiting to be let loose like their father. and their father's father and their father's father. That's why you see everything constantly repeating itself. It's because no one, what they call it, generational curse, really is called generational sin, never being addressed in spirit and truth. And this is what you see today. No one addressed it. And that's why I'm saying all these people are coming up out of nowhere talking about what nobody even give a rat's behind. And I'm like saying, did they wait too late? And I'm thinking maybe this is what I'm thinking. Well, maybe they just want to be a YouTuber and tell a story. But after you tell your story, then where you gonna go? You can't be a YouTuber and get nothing if you just tell it once. You see? And some of them will put a part 2, part 3, and part 4, but still you ain't gonna go nowhere. YouTube wants you to be on here for years so they can hook you. You see? But these people are on here telling their stories, and it ain't like they constantly keep getting on here. So therefore, this is telling you things that actually has taken place. Why everybody want to make it look like people bothering the Hebrew Israelites. But wait a minute, let's go up in the Hebrew Israelites' history. Why they were here, what was going on? The father say, Deborah, when they reject me, they dishonor me, and they have profaned my name, guess what? Anything can go. Because they still won't look at the fact that they were over in the promised land doing exactly what they're doing in the land today. That's deep. Because the promised land was holy, baby. That was a land where flowing with milk and honey. Y'all, did y'all know what was over there? They don't care. They could care less. They were doing the same thing they doing what you see today in the year 2023. They were doing it over in their promised land. And nobody cares. Why you say that, Deborah? Because you don't hear them preaching it. You don't hear them teaching it. They ain't going to teach you that. They ain't going to tell you about none of that. That's why I was saying, when I'm saying spirit and truth is not being spoken or talked about, they really not. They're not going to tell you about nothing. They're not going to tell the truth of the whole matter. With a glorified body, raised with a glorified body. If not tonight, another timeline. Now you're talking about, it says, what is the difference between transfiguration and Christ being raised with a glorified body? A glorified body, you better not touch it. That means you can't touch it. It means that it's holy. It's you can't touch it. You can't. Okay, so transfigure is just he transfigured. Is we talking about Yeshua, or we talk? Oh, let me go back a little bit on that one. You talking about who? Christ. Where's that? Bring that verse up so we can see if we're talking about the power or are we talking about the Son of Man. Bring that verse up and we can tackle that tonight. In which way? Maybe the woman is so danger. The man that the only way she know how to express herself. I don't get that one. Maybe the woman is. And who is this woman? He is so damaged. That is the only way she know how to. Yeah, a whole lot of them are like that. Mm-hmm. That could be too. That's the only way they know how to express themselves. Because they so damaged. That's true. And you know what? And because nobody want to hear it, and nobody, and even those that they have spoken to and have said things to, nobody. They haven't found nobody to hear it. That's why I say people who get a chance to just open up and just tell a story, it releases a lot of things. It don't take away the pain and the heartache and the hurt, but it releases a lot You are a great teacher. We understand. Okay. Yes, she is okay. So when we looking at Malachi, that's a beautiful thing to me, though. That's to tell me, and look, it was always on you. It was always yours. Y'all gave it all to you. That's where he put it on. Even to the point where he's telling you that he's going to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the children, the hearts of the children to the father, because that's bringing them back into that oneness. And the children represent everybody, every woman, everything, because the children came out of him. Isn't that deep? Out of the men. Always was like that. Now just imagine if they could understand that today. Just imagine that everything you see and everybody you sitting here saying they came from out of men. It'll really, if they really could grip that, it'll blow their mind, because they'll realize, you know what I mean, he put us to do something right. He gave us charge over. Let me tell you where it's at. Let me show you where it's at. Genesis chapter 1. And God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowls of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and all the creeping things upon the earth. And listen to this, verse 27. So God created man in his image. In his image, God created him. Male and female created them. Now, this is what he said. And Yah said to them. Yah said to them. Notice he said that. And Yah blessed them. And Yah said to them. You see? Listen to what he said. Be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. Multiplying, being fruitful. That's why Adam was in the garden, and he said, no. It can't be like this. He can't be alone, because my will can't come forth until I make him a woman to bring forth the light Yah puts in him. See, everything was created for his purpose, for Yah's purpose, and for his will. We just made it about us, but it always been him. But right here, he's telling the both of them, be fruitful and multiply, because they had to bring life. And the life was the light that was put into men. That's what it tells you, MEN, the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 4. So this is what it's saying in Malachi. This pretty much that same light he trusted men with. He's going to bring the hearts of those who now have the light within themselves. He's going to bring the hearts of them back to the Father in whom they came from. To have that right feeling, of knowing that these children are mine. They came from me. This was the plan of the Father. He's correcting some things. That's what he's doing. That have been out of order since Genesis chapter 3. It's been out of order since then. So here he's just telling you what's going to happen pretty much in the end days. And this is what he was pretty much saying, that the great dreadful day of the Lord of Yah. And that's the day, that's the end. You get what I'm saying? That's the end. So he's going to correct some things that got out of order in Genesis, where the men, and this tells the men that, wait a minute, where's the woman? Why ain't he saying the grandmama or anything? He's telling the Father, I'm going to bring these children heart back to you and your heart back to them. Because, like it was when? In the beginning. And these children represent women, wives, elderly women, everything, because they all came from the Father, the fathers. So that's what he's saying in there. Did you want to bring that up for oh, I guess we can talk about it another time. Okay. So I guess I get on off. I've been on here 2 hours. The storm, I guess, have passed away. I don't know why these kids are calling me. I'm way South County. They way north. They sitting up in the house asking me questions about them in the house. Tell me, y'all don't think that's crazy? Something wrong with that picture. I'm over here South County. They way North County. They asking me about something that's going on in the house and where they at. See that? Ooh-wee. That just, it's crazy. I went back over to their house, y'all. Y'all, let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask you a question. I went over to their house and it was a mess. I used to clean their house twice a week. This is a 6-bedroom house, a 2-level, 2 living rooms, a weight room, and 6 bedrooms. I don't clean up the bedrooms. I do I clean up the big bathrooms. They got 2 big bathrooms. I sweep, vacuum, mop, clean the kitchen up, wash the towels. I sweep and mop the hallways and vacuum the carpet downstairs, hallway, and living room, the bathroom, and all of that. And I charge them to clean up their house twice a week. So I went over there and I stopped doing it I've stopped. I haven't done it until around about 5 months. I just left it alone, told them I ain't doing nothing else. I ain't doing nothing. Clean up your own house. So I went over there and it looks like, I just can't believe it that they live like that. But the father, let me tell y'all, give y'all a secret. The father keep telling me, Deborah, these children are the ways of their fathers and their father's family. So you keep on thinking that someday these kids are going to wake up and live like you live. I don't care if you breastfed them. I don't care if you homeschooled them. I don't care if you took them to the sports activities and your gymnastics and swimming class and skating and all of this. I don't care. It ain't going to change who they are from the inside out. They are their father's children. Now, when you went around the father and when you went around the father's family, did you see what you see now? Yeah. Well, what are you talking about? So you think that they going to come out. Now, I'm going to show y'all how deep this is when you come down to family. He said to me, so you think that because those are your babies, you brought them up, you done breastfed them, you done homeschooled them, you've been the A+ mama, that they going to come out like you